Welcome to Creatively by Estelle, a podcast for creative and performing artists. My name is Estelle Avberry, and I'm your host. Whether you're just starting or you're a pro, this show will help you feel inspired and motivated every single week along your creative journey, and will give you tactical tools and tips for fulfilling your creative goals and your God-given purpose as a creative person. You have gifts to give, so let's do this. Let's live creatively, and let's get into the episode. Real quick, before we continue with the episode, I want to let you know that if you're a creative person who wants to share your creative gift or whatever you're passionate about with other people and create an online community, a podcast is an amazing way to do it. And you can start a podcast today with Anchor by Spotify. It's such an easy way to make a podcast. Trust me. I'm not a tech person and I did it. So if I can do it, honey, you can too, okay? Anchor has tools to allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. And you can host on Anchor and it will distribute your podcast to platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. So you don't have to worry about, uploading your podcast to all these different sites. And it's everything that you need to make a podcast in one place. And it's 100% free. So there you go. Let's go. Start your podcast, create your online community, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. All right, without further ado, let's continue. Hi, welcome back to the Creatively by Estelle podcast. How's it going? How are we doing? I hope we're doing well. I know that this week has been maybe busy because, we had Memorial Day weekend. And then maybe you had to catch up on stuff or whatever. But I just want to let you know that I'm really grateful that you're here, that you're listening. As always, I really appreciate you being here, especially with all that's going on in life, in your individual lives, right? And all that's going on in the world right now. I mean, there has been so much loss and so much pain and just so much going on with the world. I don't even know where to begin. But I know that I'm really just grateful that you are here, that you continue to show up every day. And there's so much that we all, want to do. We want to change policies. We want to, make sure that we are advocating for the safety of the children in this country, the safety of people in this country. And honestly, that means that we need policy change and all this stuff. But I know at the end of the day, you still wake up every single day. We also wake up every single day by the grace of God. And the fact that we're alive each day means that we still have a purpose. We still have a reason, right? That God, God still has a desire and a destiny that He wants us to fulfill on this earth. And so I'm just grateful that you're here, that you're showing up, that you're ready to do that. You're ready to pursue those creative callings that you have. You're ready to walk out your purpose and pursue the purpose and calling God has for you. You're ready and willing to use your gifts and to do the things that you have been gifted to do uniquely. You're ready to grow as a creative and as an artist. You're ready to rediscover your creativity through music, through theater, through dance, through whatever your art is. And so I'm just so grateful that you continue to keep going, that you're continuing to show up in spite of all that is happening, in spite of all the things that are, so painful to hear about, to watch, to listen to experience. And we're still in the middle of this pandemic at the end of, on top of all of that. So it's like, it's crazy, but I'm so grateful that you and that we all continue to show up for each other. So yeah, just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge that life can be challenging and that there is a lot going on, and I'm just so grateful that you're here, that you continue to show up. So, and as artists, as creatives, that's what we are going to keep doing, right? We are going to continue to show up. We're going to continue to do the work that we have in us to do, right? We're going to continue to grow our craft. We're going to continue to work and to share and to, reignite our passion for our creative gifts and our crafts. So Yeah, that's what we're here to do. That's what this show is all about. It's helping you rediscover and fully embrace your creativity. And I know that I love talking about all artists and all creatives, and a lot of creatives are really multifaceted, which is great too. But you know your girl loves the performing arts. You know I love musical theater. I love singing, and I literally just had a group workshop. It was a group singing virtual workshop that was musical theater themed, and it was so much fun. And I've already mentioned it, but I just want to say thank you again to everyone who showed up, anyone who came. It was mainly my friends who came, which was amazing because you gave me great feedback. So thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you for being there. Thank you everyone for supporting. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to do more. If you know that you want to pursue singing as your creative outlet, or you just want to grow as a singer, or you've always had a desire to sing and to perform, and you love musical theater and you're just curious about what that might look like, then this is literally so perfect. These will be free sessions, and then there's also a paid membership where you'll be able to do these sessions on a bi-weekly basis, and I'm going to be rolling that out. But the free sessions are literally the same thing, where you're getting to log on to Zoom with a group of other people who are curious singers or growing singers, beginners, all different levels are welcome, and you'll get to do a warm up together. You'll get to be encouraged. They do like pep talks and like encourage you and remind you of why you're doing this and why music is so important, why singing and why creativity are such beautiful things to pursue. And then we're going to get into learning musical theater songs. We'll talk about our voices. We'll talk about how we are feeling as we're singing these songs and how we can really, portray the characters well. And it's just so much fun. So if you're curious about singing and about musical theater, or you just want to grow and you know that you want to grow and take that time to grow, then this is a really great option. So look out for those. More sessions will be coming up. If you want to get started singing today, go to the show notes and download my 5 essential tips for singers, and that'll add you to the email list automatically, where you're going to get all the updates as to when the next sessions are happening. So it's like you get to start singing by yourself because you're going to get that free PDF download of 5 essential tips to start singing today. And then on top of that, you're going to get to be on the email list where I will let you know all the things that are happening, and you'll get to know when we're having our next session. So make sure you go and download that in the show notes and get added to the email list as well, so that you can be a part of the next group singing session. All right. The other thing I want to make sure I announce is that we did do a giveaway for the show's 50th episode, which was on Monday, and it was so much fun. Thank you for everyone who participated, who tagged people, who left reviews, so many beautiful reviews. I really appreciate it. If you haven't left a review and you just want to, if this show is blessed you or helped you or inspired you, even in the smallest way, like leaving a review would be such a big blessing and a great way to just share that with me. Or even if you have like something that you'd like to see more of, right? Leave it in the review. That would be so helpful for me, so that I can keep giving you what you want to hear more and keep serving you as best as I can. And leaving reviews helps to push the show out to more people, so that we can get an amazing group of creatives together, listening and encouraging each other and being inspired together and using their gifts in this world. So, yeah, leave a review as well. But thank you so much for everyone who's done it already and who was in the giveaway. It was so much fun. I announced the winners on my Instagram story, so you can go to my Instagram, Estelle F. Berry, to check that out. Again, that's in the show notes as well. Now, for today's episode, it's a mini episode and I've already been talking a lot, but today's episode, I really just want to reflect on my interview with Ramitha Ravi. I had her on the podcast on Monday for the 50th episode, and it was so much fun. And I've been re-listening and re-watching the recording of it because it was just amazing. And I had like 3 main takeaways that I wanted to chat about with you and use as a little motivation, a little pep talk, a little just to reinforce these things that Ramita talked about. that I know will be really, really helpful and beneficial to you. Okay, so just to remind you, Amitha is a dancer and choreographer. She recently choreographed for Coachella for Ravina's performance at Coachella. And she also is a dancer herself. She performed recently in Bangin' It, which is a new musical that was performed in New York and will, fingers crossed, hopefully be going to Broadway. She also was a contestant on So You Think You Can Dance, and yeah, she's danced in lots of other things and choreographed other things as well. But yeah, she's incredible. She's also an entrepreneur herself. She does freelance work and doing design and stuff for companies. And she also created, co-created arts work with her co-founder Nick. And they created arts work to be a place where artists just like you, okay, so listen up, where artists can get together and network with each other and also book gigs and book consistent work on a regular basis. Right now, they're in a bit of a transition period, but you can still log on and create your profile and start connecting with people literally right now and start building that network of other creatives and other artists. So yeah, and you can literally offer your services if you're a voice coach like me, if you're a singer, if you're an actor, if you're an acting coach, if you're a dance teacher, if you are a graphic designer, whatever it is, you can literally offer your, like, you can put your offerings up there and start connecting with people who you never know might need that, or you might be able to serve in some way, or vice versa. So yes, artwork, that I'll link it in the show notes too, because I'd love for all of you to make sure you go make your profiles today because it's an amazing platform. But anyway, she talks about how she built it because of this first point, this first takeaway. She built it because of this very idea. She wanted artists to let go of scarcity. Let go of scarcity. She wanted to beat and bust out the starving artist myth, which is such an incredible feat, like such an incredible, um, really just mindset for her to have. Like, I'm so excited that that's her mindset because I feel the same way. And she talked about how you can use all of your skills to make money and to have financial abundance as an artist so that you can have choices as to what work you want to do creatively. And she talks about how she does freelance design work for different companies, different businesses, as well as running arts work and being a performer and choreographer herself so that she's able to have that financial stability using those skills that she has in marketing and connecting with people, skills that she learned by being a dancer and by working with dance companies, right? So she learned all those skills and now she's able to apply it for herself by being an entrepreneur, being a freelancer, and use that as a way to create some financial stability, have those different streams of income so that she can then be decisive about, oh, I want to do this creative job, or I love to do this dance job or this choreography job. So I just wanted to share that you as an artist, as a creative listening right now, I want you to begin to let go of scarcity as an artist. Let go of the scarcity mindset and realize that you have skills and talents that you can use. And she talked a lot about how artists are a business. Like, if you're an artist and a creative, and you want to sell your work, you want to really share your work with this world, right? If you want to keep doing art, you're going to need the finances in order to keep doing art. So you have to sort of be a business, right? You have to be willing to charge and all of that. So she talked about how she learned and realized that she had to think of herself as a business. And that means utilizing your skills and being able to market those skills so that you can have that financial security in that way. And so I just loved that takeaway of letting go of scarcity. And that means scarcity of jobs, that means scarcity of what is possible for you and who you can connect with and how you can serve in this world. Let go of the mindset that, oh, I'm not good enough. Let go of the mindset that, oh, I'm not trained enough. And instead of saying, I'm not enough, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough, deciding this is what I do have and this is where I can start from, right? She decided she'd been she wasn't a dance major. She was a health and business major in school, right? She didn't study dance, but she had been dancing her whole life. She continued to dance even into adulthood. right? And she said, look, I have these skills in dance and I have these skills in marketing and business. So let me find a way to utilize them, right? So she decided to put down that mindset of scarcity and instead choose, no, this is what's available for me. Let me find a way, right? So I just wanted to encourage you to hold on to that takeaway of letting go of scarcity. The second takeaway that I loved is that she said that every artist has the power to do what they want. And this connects to the mindset of, abundance as opposed to scarcity. She was talking about how you can do what you want to do. If you are an artist, you want to learn to sing. I'm not to, hit, what's the term? Beat a dead horse? Yeah. But remember, I have a group voice coaching um session. I have group voice coaching sessions that I do for free, right? So you can do that if you want to, right? And you can join the membership. It's going to be a paid membership that's coming up. If you're interested, you can go to creativelybyestelle.com/sing, because that way you can just add yourself to the waitlist for when I am gonna like send out more information about it. But basically, that's just a little plug there. But that's not where I was going with this. But basically, it's just a reminder, like, you can do it. Like, if you want to do something, if you have the power to learn to sing. You have the power to take an acting class. You can find free resources online to get you started, right? Just to get started, just to get in there. You can do it. You can find ways to do what you want to do a little bit more of what you want to do, even if it's just a little bit. Just decide, you know what? I've always loved dance and I just want to start. Just do a little bit. Find a dance on TikTok and learn it and perform it for yourself in the mirror. There you go. You're dancing now. Amazing. Right? Just start. Just get started. And if you want to find ways to get started, I literally did a podcast actually a couple weeks ago that was like 5 ways to start being creative today. And then I have a graphic on my Instagram too, like several posts back. And it says like the same thing, 5 ways to get started being creative today, right? And you can start, and I tag some places in the Instagram post, and I mentioned them also in the podcast if you go back. Um, and you can literally start right now, right? Doing all those things, whatever it is that you want to do. And you can go back to that post or that podcast episode and look at those resources and see, okay, this is how I can get started, right? I can get started writing, I can get started dancing, and these are some resources that I can use for free, right? A lot of them are free. And so I just want to encourage you with this takeaway from Ramita that you have the power to do what you want to do, right? You have the power to choose to grow as a creative starting right now. How are you going to do it? What's one thing that you can do today that's going to help you be more creative and that's going to help you embrace the art and the gift that you've been given as an artist, right? What's one thing? Just one thing. Choose one thing and do it today. Start right now. Okay? So that's the second takeaway. And the last takeaway is that Ramita talked about how it can feel like a really big risk to keep art in your life, right? Because, it can be lonely and not everyone has the same schedule as you as an artist, right? You might be doing a lot of different things. There are limiting beliefs, right? Like we talked about in the first takeaway, like scarcity. And there are other people's limiting beliefs that sometimes you feel like you take on for yourself that you never even came up with, but there are other people's and now you can't get rid of them, right? Or you feel like you can't get rid of them. And then you have to be okay with being yourself, right? She talked about how you just have to be okay with kind of being different and knowing that you're an artist and that makes you that's one thing, one of many, many things that makes you unique, right? And it's a gift and it's something that not everyone in the world will embrace or really will go for. But the fact that you are here, you're listening to this, yeah, you're an artist, you're creative, and you're finding ways to keep art in your life. And so for me to talk about how that can feel like a big risk, but it's worth it because you can find community, right? Just like you hopefully do here, right? If you're listening to this, you're in good company. You're in company with other creatives who are doing this too, and we're all here together on this journey. finding ways to embrace our creativity and rediscover that those gifts that God has given us and to move forward in that. So just know that it can feel like a big risk to be an artist because you're putting yourself out there, right? And there are those fears and limiting beliefs, and there's imposter syndrome, and there's feeling like, oh, I need to do more training and all these things. And yes, we all are in process. We all need to continue to grow. And then there are all these feelings of, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna make money if I want to do this full time, right? And that's why I love doing this show, because I get to talk to people who are doing this full time or even part time or just as an outlet. And they're finding ways to really weave it into their lives and to be confident as creatives. And I want to give you that example to let you know that it is possible. However, you want art to be in your life, however you want creativity to be a part of your life, it is possible. It's possible. It's more than possible. And there are so many examples that hopefully you're seeing and listening to as you listen to the show, that you're saying, oh, this is possible, right? And so I just want you to know that, with this last takeaway, that yes, it feels like a big risk, but it's so worth it, because you're using your gifts, and that's glorifying the God who created you and who loves you and who poured those gifts into you for a purpose. And two, you're getting to feel more fulfilled because you're using the art that you have as opposed to keeping it to yourself, right? You want to get that out. And then, of course, all the people that are going to be blessed and served and impacted because you're sharing your creative gifts. Incredible, right? That's incredible. So, it's worth it. It's so worth it. And you are not alone. You're surrounded by all these other creatives, all these other people who are also doing the work that God has called them to do and fulfilling those creative desires and using their creativity for good. So I just want you to know that you're not alone. And I hope this episode really inspired you and reminded you of that. And once again, those three takeaways. Those are just three of my takeaways. You could have had different takeaways, and that's amazing. But my three takeaways from the interview with Ramita was: one, let go of scarcity as an artist. Two, every artist has the power to do what they want. And three, it can feel like a big risk to keep art in your life, but it's definitely worth it. I hope that helped you. I hope that inspired you. I hope that touched you. And I hope that you are ready to take one step today to truly embrace your creative gift and work towards the goals that you have, the dreams that you have as an artist. One step, one audition, right? One design that you're going to create, one song that you're going to write, just one thing. Start today. I'm cheering you on. Thank you so much for listening and for being here. Once again, go to the show notes for all the things to make sure that you are get on the email list so you can hear about all the things that I have coming up. Go to the show notes to, go to the Facebook page, Facebook group, and get connected with other people. Go to the show notes to get connected in arts work and make your profile and support Ramita as well. Okay, that was a lot of show notes stuff. But anyway, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you later. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Creatively by Estelle. I hope you feel encouraged by today's episode as you start this week. And if you have a moment, I would love for you to just share this episode with a friend if you liked it, or with someone who you think this could be encouraging to. It would really help the show. Also, if you really loved this episode, if you wouldn't mind going to Apple Podcasts and leaving a review and rating this show, it would really help us reach more people through this show and grow our Creatively community. All right, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week.